This indictment is an overt act in a Democratic Party conspiracy managed by Joe Biden and his appointees and political party allies in the party and in Congress and in the states and in the Justice Department to deprive Americans of their right to select a president free of malign interference by the federal government and state officials such as Alvin Bragg and Miss Willis in Georgia. They charged Trump with acting under color of law in one of the cases to deprive people of their whatever. I mean, I'm not sure what he's depriving of who's being deprived of any rights when he challenges an election. But here this is what the government is doing, is they are using the power they have under color of law to deprive Trump and try to deprive Trump and others of their civil liberties. And in the case of Georgia, they've used this racketeering statute in Georgia, which is pretty broad. And as you might remember, racketeering is usually used against the mafia. It should have been used against the Biden family and still should be used given the nature of their activities. And in order to generate the racketeering charge, the Georgia prosecutor goes through and lists a series of acts, right? And she calls them overt acts. And they're all virtually innocent, lawful activities by the individuals, either those who are indicted or those she calls unindicted co-conspirators. And so Mark Meadows asking for a phone number is an overt act and part of this conspiracy. A Department of Justice official asking another Department of Justice official, to consider drafting and sending out a letter saying the Justice Department is investigating voter fraud, that's another overt act. All of which is legal, right? Legal activities, but they're saying are overt acts in furtherance of a conspiracy. Now, when you point out the absurdity and the abuse of basically highlighting First Amendment speech and calling it part of a conspiracy, the left comes out and says, oh, no, we understand that. This doesn't mean it's illegal. It's just part of the process in charging a racketeering case. But you're accusing people of engaging in a conspiracy. So don't pretend it's, just because it's listed seemingly absurdly, where they're trying to, for instance, put Mark Meadows in jail for asking for a phone number. Don't pretend that it doesn't mean what it says it means, which is that they are trying to criminalize obviously innocent activity to try to jail Trump in the middle of the presidential election campaign. Now, we've known this is coming for some time, and I want to know what Georgia's going to do about it. Because last I checked, the DA of Fulton County isn't the king of Georgia. The state government obviously constitutionally has the ability to rein this in. And the question is the state government, the state governor, the legislature, and other responsible officials going to stand in the gap for the rule of law and shut this down? And if not, why not? And I think certainly if you're a voter in Georgia, and other citizens have a right to communicate with the government of Georgia as well, you should be asking them what are they going to do, and if not, why not? Now, my understanding of the pardon process in Georgia is that under the current rules, there's a kind of a committee that only pardons people after they've served their sentences, more or less. I'm not quite sure if that's a law or regulation, but it doesn't matter. Let's say it's a law and it has to be changed. Well, then the law should be changed to allow a governor or another responsible official to pardon people directly so that they can pardon Trump and these other innocents who have been attacked here and maligned. I mean, they're going after Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani. Some of these are friends of Judicial Watch. I mean, we're friendly with Giuliani, John Eastman, great man, Mark Meadows, another good guy. Who else do I know here? Jenna Ellis, another friend of Judicial Watch we've been friendly with in the past. And it looks like, and Sidney Powell, a fine lawyer, and it looks like a whole host of other citizens and public officials and campaign officials who were exercising their rights under law to challenge an election. And what she supposes in this case is that the questions about the election in Georgia had no basis. And that's a lie. Dare I say it, this indictment is an overt act in a Democratic Party conspiracy managed by Joe Biden and his appointees and political party allies in the party and in Congress and in the states and in the Justice Department to deprive Americans of their right to select a president free of malign interference by the federal government and state officials such as Alvin Bragg and Ms. Willis in Georgia. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.